move on for that. So for the rest of the stream, what I wanted to take a look at is, let me bring this up here. So I don't know if any of you have seen this. I assume some of you probably have, but there's this video that's been released on YouTube by a company called what it's OTOY, and there's some sort of visual effects or digital effects house, I think, and they're working with the Roddenberry Archives. You know, that's Gene Roddenberry's estate, to preserve his work in various ways online digitally. And they made this video, and again, it's short; it's just 2 minutes, but it features this actor as Leonard Nimoy. And of course, you could think this is a deep fake. Now, my understanding is that this isn't a deep fake exactly. What this is they did get an actor, and I don't remember the actor's name. I think his last name began with an M, but it's him, or was it a T? I don't know. But anyway, it's him in prosthetics, you know, like latex prosthetics to resemble Nimoy, and then they use digital effects to kind of clean it up and make it look better. I think it's closer to what they did with Tarkin in Rogue One, you know, where they got an actor to stand in for him and they kind of altered his look slightly rather than being just a full deep fake. But I wanted to go ahead and show this because I think it's interesting. And so the video, it's set on was it Viridian 3? I think it is, in after basically after the events in Generations. And you see Starfleet personnel working on the Enterprise D saucer section, like preparing to remove it. And then it cuts to that mountaintop where Kirk is buried. Uh, we'll just go ahead and start here and let me see if the sound is good. I'll turn it up a little. I'm not sure how well the sound is coming. There you see kind of the that sort of trench or path that the saucer section made. Okay, here we go. And what myself personally, what I'm curious about is this all digital? You know, is did they really go back to that same spot where they filmed Kirk's death? Because this is supposed to be him buried here. Or is this all just a digital recreation? I'm curious about that because I mean they've got the scaffolding, you know, that what's his face Soren used. Again, I suspect that this is digital, but I don't know. Like I said, I think that this is digital. I know I don't think they really went back there. I think they recreated the scene digitally. You know, the actor here is in front of a green screen probably, but because I don't know, I think the lighting, I know it just didn't seem quite right to be entirely natural to me. But again, I mean, they've done a great job. I mean, it's really convincing. I mean, you would think that this is Nimoy, and it really there are also other scenes that were made, I understand, like some stuff. Well, let me finish this one first, and I'll show another scene. And so obviously this is supposed to be earlier, and this is kind of the first motion picture, that kind of era uniform. And I think it doesn't look quite as convincing here, which is surprising. You would think the older one would be more difficult to do, with all the lines in the face and everything. But this actually looked a little less convincing to me than the older one did. But there are some other videos that have been put online by this on this channel. And again, the channel is OTOY. Okay, let me bring this up. Yeah, here we go.
Remember.
Okay. And I mean, I think this is a really interesting video. Let me bring the sound down here so we'll go through this. Shot of the Enterprise, of course, to open. And I'm not sure if this is, I thought at first maybe this was supposed to be Vulcan. Then we see Spock, presumably it's Spock mind melding with this actress. So this is supposed to be, oh, I forget her name. In the cage, in the original pilot, right? There's this young yeoman, kind of reddish blonde hair. I forget her name, but that's this character from the cage. And I can't remember her name now. But this scene is interesting. It has a kind of, I don't know, 2001 feel to it. And again, she's kind of approaching what is some kind of alien artifact, you guess. And again, I wonder if this is supposed to be on Vulcan or not. Uh, and interesting that it kind of has this eye shape to it. And the name of this video is Memory Wall. And again, and we'll get it to in a second here. But this scene's interesting because this is what appears to be one of the different versions of the Enterprise. One of the early iterations of the Enterprise, which had these rings. I'll get to show the full ship in a moment here, but this was one of the early designs for the Enterprise back when they were still trying to decide what the Enterprise was going to look like. And I don't know, it's crashed on a planet somewhere. And here we see her, and again, she kind of touches this whatever it is, and then we get a bunch of scenes here. Let's see if we can get a better look at these. Okay, so Enterprise crashing. And then again, I think this is Spock and her doing the mind meld. You see Voyager 6. Uh, and that's very kind of recalls the Sistine Chapel and God touching Adam's hand. Interesting. And I don't know what the significance is of these numbers. If anyone knows, feel free to let me know. But again, it's really cool looking. And again, it kind of opens up. And again, here we have young Spock again in his next generation, or not next generation, a motion picture era uniform. And, if they can do this now, it really opens up interesting possibilities of what they can do in the future. Like, what could they do 10 years down the line with this stuff? They are looking at eventually doing future projects with this technology. One thing apparently they're considering doing is essentially redoing the 1970s animated show with this technology. Basically doing live action versions of those episodes. Which again, you've got the audio already. You've already got the dialogue, so you could then just kind of refilm it and then add in the original dialogue, probably clean it up some. You probably also would want to change like the music some, those old filmation cartoons in the 70s, they all use like the same musical cues. But it really opens a lot of interesting possibilities of what they could do. The question is, could you trust creators to do something good with it? And again, they've done more with this Roddenberry Archives website, and I wanted to take a look at that.